Okay, y'all, today's video is going to be a very cozy, chill video. I just got home from work. I'm tired. You're tired. It's been a busy week, been a busy month. So I'm just going to get down to business and we're going to be going over every single book I read in the month of July. So yeah, this month I have read about 15 books. Okay, it has been quite a month, not as much as the previous months because I decided to give myself some time to dedicate to other hobbies this month as my sick leave was ending. It's going to go even lower now that I've gone back to work. So I'm just really glad I was able to read quite a nice chunk of what I wanted throughout these last few months, and July was a great way to end it. Okay, so before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe, like, check out other socials, do your due diligence, please, and let's get into all the books I read this month. So this month I actually went into multiple different series, okay, but I did start off the month with a standalone, and it is Cockroaches by Jo Nesbø. I give this book 2.5 stars. This is a thriller slash crime slash police book. I really like Jo Nesbø's more recent works, but I've been trying to get into his Harry Hole series, and this is the second book in the series, and I am not loving it. But I have done my research online, and they do say that after the third one it gets better, so I'm hoping that that will be the case, because if not, then I might just ignore the like first 5 books and then just go from there. I honestly don't know, because I really like the most recent works, but these ones are a bit iffy and they give me a bad slash sour taste in my mouth, so I'm just like not really enjoying it. I don't even remember exactly what it was. I just know that it was in Singapore and there was people dying and there was rich people, there were a lot of other people. It was mid for me. 2.5, and I'm being generous, I think, with this, honestly. I then read my first series of this month, which was the Day of a Bad trilogy. Now, this is the one that has City of Brass, Kingdom of Copper, and Empire of Gold. I gave 4 stars to City of Brass, 3 to Kingdom of Copper, and 4.5 to Empire of Gold. I genuinely was so pleasantly surprised with this. Like, genuinely, really was. I loved reading it. It was so much fun. But the reason why the middle book is my least favorite is because of the gigantic time skip. Okay? I just feel like we lost so much. I feel like the character development was stunted. I was not happy with it. I could not look past it. Genuinely, I could not look past it. And if I'm not mistaken, there's my reading experience in a vlog somewhere. I don't know if I vlogged it alone anymore or if it's in my like screen time challenge vlog. I don't know. I know that I vlogged it, but I was just so stuck in this. Like, I couldn't move past the time skip. And then Empire of Gold, I loved the ending. There was a few things here and there that I would have, given some pointers, but I genuinely loved the ending. I don't know if I agree with how her Jin friend ended, because I think I guess it's good, but at the same time, if he died, it would have been fine. You know what I mean? The more Egyptian slash Northern African slash Arab influences, all of it was such a beautiful setting for this book, such a beautiful cultural baseline for this series, and I really want to read more of these because I think it's my like maybe second or third series that is kind of inspired by this year, and I'm loving them. I'm loving them so much. It's such a different perspective. We usually, fantasy books really center around like the typical fantasy environment, very European style environment, and having this different perspective and this different cultural background to the story has been chef's kiss. I've really been enjoying it quite a lot. Then after this, I went into the Zodiac Academy world. But bear with me because, first of all, there is going to be a vlog about this, okay? Because I did vlog the Zodiac Academy, the first 3 books, reading the first 3 books, and a few reactions of me reading The Ruthless Boys, the first 2 books, because that's all I read, okay? So if you want the exact names, from Zodiac Academy, it was The Awakening, Ruthless, Fae, and The Reckoning, and I gave 3.5 stars for every single one of those. From The Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac, I read Dark Fae and Savage Fae, and it was 3.5 and 3 stars, respectively. Now, I did not continue the series, and I'm kind of still deciding what I'm going to do, and I'm trying to get myself into the mood of it again, okay? Because Zodiac Academy, the first 3 books, like, I feel like they could have all been one book, right? And the thing that I'm struggling a lot with these authors is that you're reading a book, and you feel like the story is starting to pick up at the bookends, and you're like, what? What? Like, it ends in a random spot. Very random spot. Yeah, there's a little bit that happens there, but it's like, you know, it's a very random spot. You're left feeling so like unsatisfied and just, yeah, it's just anticlimactic, you know, and I just kept feeling that the entire time. And then the writing is cringe. The inner monologue of the twins, also very cringe. The comparisons, like there's a point in this book where, in one of these books, where they compare the size of their magic to dogs. Like the size, my magic flowed to the size of a poodle, and then to the size of a God knows what. And like, why are we measuring things to dogs? Like, why are we using dog sizes as a measuring measure? I don't know. Like, what? Like, no. Like, there's so much cringe. There's also a lot of like, you know, just, it's very smutty. But I figured it would have some kind of plot. I really genuinely feel like these 3 books could have been one. Just one, and the 3 parts of a book that typically a book has, right? And it was kind of anticlimactic, and it was a lot. Like, having to go through 3 entire books for something that could have been told a lot shorter, like, it was very annoying. And the quality wasn't that great, but I've been told that the 4th book is where things kind of pick up and it becomes a lot more worth it, and that, like, that's where the story actually gains quality. So I'm taking a breath before I actually go into the 4th one. But I was trying to do this in like the typical recommended reading order for this world, and the next one would be The Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac, which would be 5 books, right? I've made it through 2 and I am absolutely done. Okay, like genuinely, like I like this main character a lot more, really. And I do like the male interests, but they're just jackasses. Like, honestly, like, they're very jackassy, and they're very, like, I don't know, dude. They just think with their lower heads, nothing else. It's just basically corn at this point, and it's just, again, I love me some good smut, but the plot has to plot, you know? If it doesn't plot, then what's the point? It just, I couldn't bear it, right? And it's just her just jumping on him. Just jumping on him from one to another, just constantly jumping. And I was like, I don't care. I could not give less of a shit. And I'm so invested on what happened to her brother, yet I don't get enough of a plot inside these books to actually figure it the fuck out, because she's too busy thinking with her other head. So it's just like, you know what? I don't have the patience. So my plan here, moving forward with these 2 series, is to read kind of like a little TLDR of The Ruthless Boys. And just call it quits. Literally, I've removed the rest of the books from my TBR. Like, I'm not reading the rest of this. And Zodiac, I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to keep doing it through audiobook, because I have been doing through audiobook the series. And I'm going to give the 4th book a try. If the 4th book doesn't intrigue me enough to continue reading, then I'm done. I'm not going to give this a second try. Just not for me. And that is okay. I wanted to love it, just not gonna. So that is my plan with these. Let me know if you have any, like, opinions on this, because I know a lot of people have. If you can relate to my feelings to this, I wanted to see your opinions, okay? So that's the plan with these. Now, after this, I went into the more fantasy-esque series. I read the Halfling Saga. This is a fantasy with the subplot of romance, but it's fantasy with fays and halflings and all of that, and the world, the magic, the characters. I love the characters, even side characters, main characters. Like, everyone is so interesting. Everyone you meet, everyone, just the way that this family is built with these characters, such an amazing creation, just book, right? Like, writing. Found family, obviously, I think you can conclude that. There's also like a lot of like strategizing and like trying to, you know, figure things out. Like, our main character is very smart, very intelligent, and our MMC is very flawed. She is also very flawed as well. She struggles with alcoholism as well. So if that's a trigger for you, maybe not great. But it was great. I loved seeing the perspective of, like, you know, the person that's struggling and going towards, you know, this addiction, and also the people around her. So, like, all of the dynamics, I love seeing that. It's a very real, raw, kind of realistic fantasy in that aspect, like in terms of like the relationships between people, how complex they can be, the actual relationships between our main characters. They're not just like, you know, that fantastical kind of thing. It's very realistic. The struggles they go through, the depression, the anxieties, I really like seeing these very human, flawed, but not just in the typical sense, like with depth characters, and I absolutely loved the series. I gave it 4.5 stars to every single one of these books. The books are Broken Blade, Shadow Crown, Vicious Game, and An Honored Vow. 4.5 stars to every single one of them, and they are probationary 4.5. I might give them more in the future. I'm still kind of stewing about and seeing if I'm gonna give it a 5 stars. Having this series where I was just like so sucked into the book that I had to physically stop myself from reading all the way to the next day, it's ridiculous. I loved it so much. So if you're looking for a nice fantasy with a romance subplot but like everything else is really supreme, this is a very, very good fantasy. Next, I did do a little palate cleanser. I just wanted like a quick smutty read that I could read in like one day. It was one and done, and I read The Wrong Wife. It was also the wrong book. Like, I gave it 3 stars. I'm considering going down because honestly, it's kind of an insult to the 3 stars. It's not bad. The characters aren't bad, and the concept isn't bad, but it's very shallow, and it gets to a point where the author just decided to quit writing the story. She just gave up. He, I don't know, but I think it's a she. Gave up. Just writing the story, gave up and just moved things along, and just like this, everything happened, and it's just like, so we were building all of this tension, and then whoop, done. Like, yeah, so I'm just like, you know what, I don't like you. No, I gave it 3 stars, but I'm probably gonna change it to 2.5. And lastly, I started the Trial of the Sun Queen series. This is the Artifacts of Orano series. The first book is Trial of the Sun Queen. I gave it 3.5 stars. Did I give it just 3? Oh yeah, I did give this 3.5 stars, but I have since read the second book because I kind of read like half of the second book still within July, and I like the second book a lot more. I do. I am enjoying the series a lot more. I think I read the second and the third book at this point. I think I'm going into the 4th book today. I'm starting the 4th book today, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I'm liking the series itself, but the first book was a 3.5 because it was just a very predictable book. She was very gullible. She was very like stupid. I could see the red flags coming from a mile away. It was just very predictable, very regular, but I could see that there was potential to have such a bigger, better world, and I was still interested, so I kept reading, and I haven't regretted it since. Okay, so I've been really enjoying it, and I gave it 3.5 stars. And that's it. That's all the books for this month. Again, it was a very nice month. I think I found really nice books, especially after Zodiac. I was struggling with Zodiac. Okay, like it was not for me. I don't think it is for me. So I'm just happy that I was able to get that out of the way and then just move along, to bigger and better things. But yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna ramble anymore. Thank you so much for watching. I know it was a quick video. It's a very chill video. I've been busy, okay? Booked and busy, getting back to life, regular life after being sick for so long. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next month for another wrap up. But if you want to see more, if you want more content, please check it out. Like, check out the channel, see what you like. And if you do, I'll see you next week with another video. Bye.